is Bob Dickinson of InfoSWMM. We're going to talk about the structure of an InfoSWM model. So in case you need to zip it up and send it to a client, you can understand how everything works. The first and most important file is your MXD, which is your ArcGIS or ArcMap map file. Then there is the ISDB folder, which has all the DBF files, nodes, modules, the actual map itself in a geodatabase, and things like a CIP for InfoSWM CAP plan. The DBF files are what you read to populate your database tables in InfoSWM. Should say the same thing happens in InfoSewer with an IEDB folder and InfoWater with an IWDB folder. When you run the model, it makes an out file, and the out file has the scenario with the various scenarios. When you first run it, all the files go into the job folder. And then after you're done running, it comes out into outside of the job folder, as this is the binary file, this is the EPA SWM 5 input file, this is an HTML file that you click on to see output in your browser, and this is the actual output. And there's a separate output file for the LID. Now when we have add-ons, for example, InfoSWM Sustain, the Sustain has additional DBF files and also output files that are used for the solutions, performance, etc. Another important part of InfoSWM obviously is the database, and you can put all your databases in a sample global database or have them separately in a GIS data with Shapefile. So for example, here I have my DEM, my impervious cover, slope information in a Shapefile. And some of these forms work better. The global databases work better in ArcGIS 10.2 and 10.3. GIS data works for all the different ArcGISs. So that's a brief introduction to the InfoSWM structure. So if I wanted to send, and finally, if I wanted to send this to a client, I wanted to make sure that they had everything that I had, I would click on all these files and then save it to a zip file. And that zip file then can be unzipped on your client or your colleague's computer. Then you have a backup of that. Thank you for listening, and we'll move on to another subject.